Hey everyone, welcome to XYZ DAO project call number 4. We're excited to have you all here, and if you've been tuning into our updates this week, you've known that we got extremely active and finally have released the docs. But just so everyone knows, we will be releasing a few more docs on like how our products are going to work and like how you're going to be able to use like the minting function. So the docs are not done coming out. You'll still have more and more things to look forward to. I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Dragos and let him give some big updates on yield farming. I think a lot of people are extremely interested to know what's going on over there and some dates. So we'll finally be telling you guys some dates. So Dragos, if you want to take it over.
Thank you very much, Mark. It's a pleasure and honor to talk here. Before we do this, I just want to show everyone something. It's like a little guy. Anyway, getting back to important stuff here. So yield farming, right? Yield farming. So we're ready to get this rolling out, the warm-up period, starting on Monday next week. And we're basically looking at the first epoch to start from, like from Monday in 1 week, 12 a.m. UTC time, like all that stuff, right? So that's one thing. In terms of epochs, the duration of the epoch is going to be 7 weeks. And from that, the way we're going to go ahead, so we're going to have the token farming, right? So out of the token, the whole like token supply, we're looking to have, make sure like 70% of the, 7% of token supply, which is like 70,000 tokens, distributed among like 7 pools, and you'll be able to yield farm XYZ token with Aave, Bond, Compound, Link, SNX, Sushi, and ILV. I just like the name of the last one. Anyway, that goes with the yield farming, and then we're gonna have the LP pool, the Sushi LP pool, and the token amount supplied to the liquidity pool incentivization is going to be 60,000 or like 6% the total XYZ token supply. And if I haven't mentioned that, the total supply is like 1 million. So everyone's aware of that. The epoch length is going to be, again, 1 week. So, you're basically going to have to go in the Sushi LP pool, become liquidity provider, and then come back to Barnbridge, stake that, and then you're going to get rewards. So that's one thing covered. And yeah, epochs. So warm-up period starting from Monday. You guys are going to be able to access that and go in there, see everything live. First epoch starts from Monday in 1 week, 12 a.m. UTC, and then the LP NLP token farming is gonna like follow up with 1 week afterwards, because that's so the first amount of like XYZ tokens are being distributed. That's pretty much it. I don't think I think that should cover the whole thing. Oh, the last thing, DAO staking, you're also going to be able to like stake XYZ tokens within a DAO. And you're going to get rewards there as well. And there's going to be like 5% of the total token supply, which, amounts like 50,000.
Nice. And Dragos, just to clarify, that warm-up period that you're talking about, is that like how Barnbridge was, where we opened up the UI for a week before people were actually farming so they could get familiarized with the UI and kind of lock their funds early? So what Dragos is saying is that you can play around for a week, and then that following week is when the epoch will be officially started.
So 2 thumbs up for me. Yep.
That's when you'll start earning those rewards. So another thing that we want to go over, well, first off, thank you, Dragos. I appreciate it. That was perfect. But I think the next thing that everyone is extremely interested in after some of the announcements this week is the airdrops. And we actually got inspired by the Dr. Opium airdrop. They actually, it's Opium Finance, opium.finance. You can check it out. It's actually a cool project. But I just want to dive into how this works because I know not everyone reads the articles, but some people listen to the project calls. So we just want to make sure everyone kind of has the lowdown on what is going on with this airdrop. So basically, the way that it works is so everyone's entitled their share to the airdrop. So, like, say I'm entitled 10 XYZ tokens. When I first go to claim, I may only be allowed to claim like 2 or 3 tokens. Let's just make it easy, like 3 tokens. Let's say it's 3. As time goes on, I may be able to claim, after so many weeks, and we don't have the time frames down yet because we're still trying to narrow this down internally. But as time goes on, say, a few weeks later, you can claim 7 tokens. Well, at the end of the period, you're going to be entitled to your full, 10 tokens that you were initially entitled to. But here's the catch. You can exit the pool early and claim your tokens whenever you want. But what happens to your tokens that you don't get to claim? Well, basically, they get pushed into the pool and then distributed to everyone that stays in the airdrop. So basically, you can either claim early, and like Drago says, you can take your XYZ tokens and you can either go provide liquidity with them, or you can eventually stake them in the DAO once the DAO gets activated and thresholds are met. So there is reasons to claim early, but also there's reasons to wait to claim, because eventually if people leave too early, you're eligible, those 10 tokens, you're still eligible those 10 tokens if you wait till the end. But now there could be hundreds of tokens that are there that weren't there before that you are now eligible for. So there's kind of this interesting trade-off with the airdrop that's just kind of, eliminate everyone claiming at the same time, but also incentivizes some people for doing some different things. So it's kind of just like a game theory experiment. We're just kind of interested and wanted to do something different than the normal, just everyone claim and enjoy your tokens. We thought that this would be a little bit more fun. And honestly, I'm personally excited about it. So I just want to explain the people who are going to be eligible for this airdrop. We have about 100 discretionary people that have helped and have been extremely active in the community since the beginning. And some have joined a little bit later on, but have been extremely helpful in what they help with. So we're going to be airdropping about 8% of the tokens to these, roughly about 100, 101 people. And those tokens will be kind of distributed based off of like how we felt that they were, how much you maybe had helped. Some people helped a lot. Some people were extremely active. So we just wanted to some people we felt needed to get a little bit more incentivized than some others, but generally it was most of the people in that pool are all getting around the same share of tokens. Next would be the Discord. We had an old project that we had to shut down, and we had a large community really pushing us, and that community stayed with us and really pushed us to keep building and move on and push and really push and build Universe when, it wasn't the funnest time for us. But these people that stayed with us and were in the Discord in those early times, we took a snapshot in late February. So currently we have a Discord bot in the XYZ airdrop channel in Discord. If you were in the Discord in February, you should go to that channel and use the command and post your ETH wallet address in there. Don't post an ENS domain, it's not going to work. Just post your address. But there's about 4,000 people eligible for that airdrop. And we only have about 250, 300 people who have claimed it so far, or not claimed, but confirmed that they are going to get it. So
How many people? 350
yeah. So, and we haven't really made too much
out
of
of like 4,000? Because
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that that's like when we tweet out this call and we make announcements, that's like a massive thing that we need to highlight. Like in case this is the way they consume content from Universe. Like if all you watch is are these calls, like that's 10% of the people that are eligible for tokens have actually given us wallets to get them. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mark. That's just
No, it's
like,
all
I
good.
want that
I
to get
agree.
the
It's
exposure.
extremely important, and that's kind of why I want to bring it up. I'll be tweeting it this week. I want everyone to kind of tell their friends, let anyone know if you had a friend that was in Discord and maybe had forgotten, let them know. If anyone's in there and anyone's eligible, even if you don't have an Ethereum wallet made yet, your Discord ID and you have a Discord number attached to you. And basically we have your number. If you go in there and you post your any wallet address, it'll give you that address. So definitely you want to post your wallet address. But if you didn't have an ETH address at the time, you can make one and you can post it in there and you'll be eligible. So I just want everyone to be fully aware that there's still a lot of people that can claim that. And I just want to be directing people towards that XYZ airdrop channel. And that is people that are already in the Discord from February. Also, the next, we're going to be giving out 2% to the original bidders of our original project. The project we'll call, I think we need to come up with a good name for it. I'll think of it. It's like the project that will remain unnamed or something like that. But the unnamed project, the original bidders will be getting 2% airdrop to their addresses, and they will also be. These are all of these airdrops are being claimed via this Opium airdrop. So that's why it's really important that we went over how this is claimed. And then this week we also decided that we're going to be airdropping the original contributors. Their 9% of tokens is going to also be part of the Opium airdrop. So this is also kind of big, and it kind of really balances out the amount of people in this airdrop. And so like just saying, if a contributor was to leave the airdrop early, there's a lot of tokens on the table for like some of those people that maybe are in some of the lower like bidder, like the bidders that are getting 2%. But I really don't know what the best way to do it is. The team's probably not going to comment and tell you what they think is best. But it's kind of just like do what you think is best, and honestly, probably whatever you think is best is probably best for you. Everybody's different, so that's kind of my advice on the situation. So everybody, happy hunting, enjoy the airdrops. So next we can just kind of talk a little bit about the auctions and the minting. We don't have a ton of updates here other than the facts that we're about to start all of our audits and finally start pushing all of these products live. Security is something that we take extremely important at Barnbridge and Universe. Like we always try to take the proper steps to ensure that we're building secure products. So audits are something that we don't try to rush. So just want everyone to know we are starting these processes, but we're not totally sure when the insight is, but it is good news that all of this is starting to be audited, and that's the kind of the last step, and then getting it launched. So it's exciting that we're finally getting to those points. Also, I don't know if we've talked about many of the features of our minting contracts. One of the main features is going to be a batch minting feature that would allow you to mint up to 40 NFTs at a time. And this contract is supposed to be cheaper for you to mint all 40 than if you were to individually do 40. I know gas prices are a little insane the last week, but This contract is designed to reduce some of the fees on minting multiple NFTs for when you're creating a collection, and can actually make it easier on you so you don't have to go and individually mint every single one. And the really cool thing about this is that you can actually mint 40 NFTs to our auctions contracts, like the Justin Blau style auction that we're going to do. You know, you could create a tiered auction and mint 40 NFTs to it in one transaction. So that actually gets to be really cool product in my opinion, to be able to do that. So next, let's talk about some of the NFTs and some of the announcements that are coming up. Allie, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the planets and the progress that we're doing on the planet drops? We're kind of renaming all of our drops so that we can have fluidity, and so we're kind of going with planet drops for the characters that you guys have been seeing in the Discord. Each of those characters is coming from a planet. Each planet has 23 characters, and we want to roll out planets in the future. So this would be like the core one planet drop, and then you can assume that we'll drop more planets in the future, and those would be like, you know, core drop 2 or core drop 3 down the road. But I'll let Allie take this over and talk a little bit about some of the progress we've made on some of the characters and the planets.
So basically right now we are pretty much ready to show you guys all the characters. I've already kind of shown some of the heads of some of them by uploading the emojis in the Discord. You can check that out by looking at our server emojis. But that's only like a third of the characters. There's so many characters, like it would just be overwhelming for me to just try to go post them all in the Discord and show everyone. So for a lot of them, you guys are gonna have to wait for the NFTs to release to see them. But like every character, the comics is the same thing. Like there's no way I could just like display to y'all all the comics. So those are the same thing. There's going to be a ton of them, and at first I was the only one writing them, but we've had like a lot of pickup from the community to like people who just want to be a part of it, like good writers. Some of them have like good credibility, like a couple have helped with Adult Swim shows and stuff like that, and other stuff too that I'm forgetting. I just don't want to like drop the wrong credibility or whatever. But yeah, like some really good writers have started helping us along the way. And so now the comics are gonna be really sick. So for the first drop, we kind of want it to almost be like not like a rough draft, but like just like a test drop almost. And so we're gonna have a lot of the comics kind of like all over the place. They'll basically all connect well, but they're gonna be like differently written. Like they won't all be similar themed. They'll have different types of stories that come out. So it'll be like kind of exciting. Like when a new comic comes out by a different writer, you'll be able to kind of tell it's their own style. But our hope is to like or my hope is to like whatever comics kind of do the best, whatever ones you guys like the best. We kind of want to continue off those characters' story mainly and focus on those characters. But we do want to extend the whole overall lore of all the species either way and like create an overall lore for everything. And this will all happen over time. Like it's not like this is just gonna something that we can all work on like instantly. Like some of this will have to wait for certain stories to be released before others can even be thought of. But yeah, like we have about I think five writers specifically working on this, but we also have other people helping too. Like even some of the devs have wanted to help, and the cartoon artists. Like we have artists who draw the comics and then artists who come up with ideas for the comics. So it's all kind of like clashing and everybody's kind of like helping each other. and the whole lore is going to be like super developed because of all this like teamwork involved, and it'll just be like really it'll be really fun to get into as a viewer, because it'll just be something that you can like pretend you're in, like a way to like escape reality almost, and like you'll be able to like be in this universe and own characters from it, and you hopefully we can add more utility, and like you'll be able to use the characters somewhere, like maybe we don't have any ideas for a game, but there doesn't have to be a game coded into the characters, like even the community could develop something like that externally. Just the possibilities for all the characters are endless. And yeah, like I won't talk about the other drops, but this drop, it seems like this is our main drop, but it really isn't. Like we're gonna have other core drops that are gonna be super dope too, besides this one.
Yeah, and we want to build out a lot of the lore, all of the drops. You know, if they're cool enough and people are excited about it, we want to be building it out. And Ali did a really good job of explaining what really has happened over the last few weeks. Is we really have had a lot of outreach from the community, especially after we've really started being more active. We did have a few months of silence for everyone, but I think some of the announcement has really erupted the community and really gotten everybody excited. So we've had a lot of people reaching out and trying to, you know, how can they help? What can I do? And, you know, Ali has almost built, you know, a lore team of people from the community that are now helping write all the lore of this universe. And like he said, you know, we have Adult Swim writers who are helping with this, and, you know, they're even helping us kind of understand what it takes to build a world. Like we hopped on a call with them this week and they were asking us questions that like we didn't even really ever think about, like what's the currency for the universe, and what's the religion, and what's this, like, and we were like, well, we don't really know. And they were like, well, we can help with all this. And it kind of helped us kind of realize that we didn't know shit about making like a story, like world kind of, but these guys are going to help us out and help us really hammer down and create a really immense and full universe of, you know, it's not really missing anything. That's kind of got every aspect to it that we can explore, like Ali said. And hopefully down the road, we can build some of those metaverse type things, or, you know, build utilities for our NFTs to be used in games like, you know, the crypto voxels type worlds, metaverses.
Who'd those guys come from? The Workaholics guy and the Tokamak like fractal dudes? Like,
Yeah. So Durs from Workaholics is one of our contributors, and he knows a bunch of comedy writers, and their names are Davram and Jason, and they're from a group called the Good Liars. They're pretty famous on TikTok. I think they have about 1 million followers, and like Twitter and YouTube have a bunch of following. But yeah, they're Adult Swim writers, and they've helped with all sorts of big time shows. And I believe Les is trying to get me in touch with one of the co-writers of Rick and Morty to see if we can get him on board to help with some of the lore as well. But like I said, it's just been kind of crazy with all the outreach from the community, and, you know, the resumes of some of the people that want to help. And, you know, it's just kind of awesome that we have almost, you know, I could say experts trying to help us build out these worlds. So yeah, it's just really exciting. This week, I also released an article about some of the big announcements and released some of the information on the new NFTs. And we released a little teaser on our drop 2 per se, which is called Polymorphic Universe. And we want to just dive into this a little bit and kind of get everyone thinking about what this is, because I think it's going to be a huge hit. But basically, there's these 15 characters that you can get, So basically how it works is you go on and you can mint a character and you randomly get one of the 15 characters, but they come with an range of items and weapons and, all sorts of random stuff like hats, glasses. The list isn't finished, but we're working on getting a bunch of items to be able to be mixed and matched on these. And the way that they work is that they have a genetic string attached to them that basically can be morphed and changed and mutated and on command. So you can basically tell it when and how, and basically pay a little bit of ether to help make it like basically mutate. And you can try to roll and get like a very rare or a, it's kind of completely random, the genetic string, what you're going to get and how it'll mutate. But we're also looking into some options at being able to control a mutation or to be able to like pick a trait, but we're still exploring some of these little edge cases with how the NFTs morph. But I'll be releasing an article this week about some of the drop dynamics and how they actually are going to function and work. And we'll be leaking some of the NFTs in that article. So just stay tuned to the Medium for that. I think mainly we've kind of gone over everything. I don't want to give too much information on the polymorphic universe because that is still mid creation. We're still working on getting that all finished. But I think it's close enough that we can start releasing some information on it so that everyone can start getting excited. It just seems like everyone in the community is really excited right now. I mean, we have yield farming on, next Monday, warm up period starting. We got NFTs in the pipeline ready to drop. Auction contracts are hitting audits. It kind of seems like everything is finally in full motion and we're ready. Tyler's down in Puerto Rico. Troy is freaking having the time of his life. Dragos is fucking got an amazing shirt on. Like, life is good. It's time to have this universe boom. Does anybody, one other thing we have to do is we have to go over community questions. I don't want to forget about the community questions. Let me hop in the Discord really quick. Okay, we don't have a ton of questions. It looks like since we released the docs, a lot of people's questions were answered. Let me. It looks like the only question is about just learning a little bit more about the social components of the platform. I think I could honestly answer that pretty quickly and just kind of give a little idea of like our mission for the social platform. In my opinion, NFTs are a very social thing. Like, you want to be able to show them off. You want to be able to talk about them. You want to be able to share ideas with those whom share similar ideas to you. So although NFTs are already sort of like a network and a very social thing, we really feel like the NFT space itself really lacks a social media social media tool in the area. So not only do we didn't want to just build a social media tool because we personally think that a lot of these tools like OpenSea and Rarible are already so close. So like, why not just add social media to these tools and add basically tools inside of tools? Like, liking NFTs, being able to, share an NFT, being able to go and start a discussion on the NFT. So like, we want to opt for our perfect social media aspect that we wanted to add was almost like a like a Reddit type thing that basically is more of like a discussion forum. And, you know, maybe some of the forums you can't join because you don't have a CryptoPunk, and they want CryptoPunk people to be able to have these discussions and have like, you know, more CryptoPunk level discussions than people trying to join in and like clog a thread with, you know, just random posts. So, and then also the gallery features like Facebook and Instagram are just extremely like interesting social tools. The way that like you can post an NFT, share an NFT, like have a photo gallery on Facebook. Like, why are there no photo galleries for NFTs in a social like situation? It just doesn't make sense to us. So this is just something that we want to tackle. This is not even like 10% of what we want to do with this social aspect. Like, we really look at universe as a whole as a social tool, because that's what NFTs are. They're a social tool. They can get a conversation going. You know, you can tell if someone shares interest as you if they share the same art. It's kind of an interesting economy, I would say, NFTs themselves, and they just are a social thing. So we think that social media is necessary for this. And we also want to hear what the community thinks and like what they would want from an NFT social media, because, you know, we don't want to be the only people curating and pointing this in the right direction. We definitely want like community outreach on things like the social media as much as we have had for like helping create the lore. Like, if they like, I know everyone sits around and is like, well, damn, I wish this, you know, OpenSea had this tool or this or that. Like, we don't mind you guys throwing us suggestions, and honestly, because like we're out here hammering, trying to finish and work on stuff that we're doing now. It's sometimes hard for us to take a break and like think ahead sometimes. So like if you guys can almost be thinking ahead and doing research and, you know, asking us like, or just brainstorming with us, like we want this to be a community project. It is a community project. We want it to be community run, and, you know, we're open to hearing what the community has to say. And so let us know. You know, XYZ ideas channel and in Discord, we read that, we interact in there. You know, we want to hear y'all's ideas, so bring them. I think that really wraps up everything for today, unless anybody else has anything to say. Shout out Chris Gardner. He's been trying to get on these calls for like 6 weeks now, and he's finally on one. I don't know if everyone knows Chris, but Chris, you want to introduce yourself because this is your first project call?
Yeah, hello guys. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was having issues with time zone, and every time I want to hop in the calls, it was already done. So I have to rewatch the record. So I'm Christian Espinosa. I live in Honduras, and I've been working on behind the shadows because I couldn't never join the calls. And I'm a smart contract developer, but I do kind of full stack stuff. But I would say like my experience is smart contract development. I've launched a few contracts on mainnet. Last month, I launched some that were audited, so I have some experience in the DeFi space, developing stuff, and of course farming and doing cool stuff with NFTs that I love. That's how I joined this project, by loving NFT a lot.
Nice, man. We really appreciate having you. Chris has been a whole lot of help, and honestly, like Chris said, he was one of the earliest supporters in the Discord, and we brought him on board because we found out that he was a smart contract developer and actually a pretty damn good one. So we're really happy to have Chris on the team, and but I think that's everything for the day. So just remember to hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Medium, join our Discord. Definitely, if if you were in the Discord in February, go in the XYZ airdrop channel in Discord and post your address. Do it. It's important.
Make sure that's a
4,000
MetaMask.
people eligible.
Make sure that's a MetaMask Ethereum address, not an exchange Ethereum address.
Yeah, you don't want to post an exchange address. And if anyone has posted an exchange address in there, if you want to update your wallet address, you basically just go do the same thing you did. You go airdrop and then post a wallet address, and it'll update your wallet address to the latest wallet that you did.
I think Dragos has something to say about MetaMask.
Kill the fox.
It's like, yeah. No? Yes. No comment here.
No comment. All right, everyone. I think we're good. Hit like, subscribe, all this stuff. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Cool, guys.
Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mark.
See you guys.